This afternoon, we are in the city of brotherly love, where the Gladiators and the Soul face off for the second time this year. The last two seasons, each team has won 3 straight regular season games over the other, including this finish in 14.
The horn sounds, Austin, end zone, and it is gone! Touchdown, Cleveland! They do it again!
In 15, it was all Philly, though. Can the Soul continue their winning ways over the Gladiators? It's the Soul taking on Cleveland right now. It's the Arena Football League on CBS Sports Network. Week 4 in an afternoon affair between the Gladiators of Cleveland and the Soul of Philadelphia. As we welcome you inside Wells Fargo Center. 3 weeks in, Arizona's unbeaten, so is Orlando. Philly there, just a game back in the American Conference, a game behind the Predators. Hi, buddy, glad you're along. Brent Stoner alongside the Hall of Fame quarterback at Sed Bonner. These two teams in the last few years, they really have formed the premier rivalry in the NFL.
They've done a nice job of getting after each other. Old Eastern Division rivals. They played in 3 of the last 4 Arena Bowls. These teams do not like each other. They will leave it on the field and get after each other today.
Colin Taylor for the Gladiators has been awesome in the early season, including 13 catches in last week's game.
Yeah, Colin's just continued to elevate his game year in and year out. He's making believers all over America in the AFL. Guys didn't believe how great he was. He's a talent. He can run. He's physical. He can elevate. 21 catches on the season, 7 touchdowns, 200 yards. Definitely a good player in this league.
On the other side, it's not often that we talk fullbacks in the open, but Jeremy Richardson definitely deserves it.
He really does, and he's a guy that does a lot of the grunt work inside with his physicality. At 6 foot, 270 pounds, you're going to watch the swift feet, the quick feet. He's able to maneuver, get around defenders, get to the end zone, but he also protects. This team has not given up a sack on the season. Tied for 4th, you see the numbers there. He's averaging 5.4 yards a carry. Viable option at the tailback spot.
A couple of touchdowns already this year. He had 7 with Cleveland last year. So it continues between the Gladiators and the Soul. The next chapter is headed your way after the break. It's the Arena Football League on CBS Sports Network, Cleveland and Philadelphia. Inside Wells Fargo Center, where the NHL playoffs will continue tomorrow. But it's Arena Football today, and the rules here: 4 15-minute quarters, running clock. The field 50 yards by 85 feet, no punting, no stunning or twisting ball off the net live. 1 wide out can be in forward motion before the snap. And with that, we check in for the first time this afternoon with Tina Cervasio. Tina.
Hey there, Brent. I'm making my way over to Philadelphia quarterback Dan Radavon. Dan is still warming up. Dan, but I want to ask you, the offense got into such a great rhythm last week in that win against Portland. How do you get everybody clicking again like that tonight?
You know, it starts early in the week with a week of practice and preparation in the film room and the weight room. So you just got to do whatever you can to be right come game day, and then let it loose on when the lights come on.
What did you have to do the first 3 weeks of the season to adjust to some of your receivers?
You know, it's always good when you get new faces in the huddle who can make plays for you. So I just got to do my job, make them feel comfortable in there, and then get the ball out on time and, you know, watch them be athletic.
So many coaches around this league say that you are so much like your head coach, Clint Dolezel, when he was a quarterback. What similarities do you see between the two of you?
You know, I've fallen in love with this game. This is the greatest game I think you could play, and I've been fortunate to learn from one of the best players, but also one of the best guys around. And you know, I just try to emulate him on and off the field. He's a good leader, and he accentuates get the ball out quick. So I just try to do my job, get us in the end zone.
Dan, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to you.
All right, Tina, thanks. So there's Clint Dolezel, who she alluded to. It is funny to watch their relationship, and you'll see it throughout the next 3 hours.
Listen, they're a lot alike in the way they play the game, but Clint was a fireball when he was playing. Dan is extremely calm and lets things happen, but they're playing, the way they play the game is a lot alike. But Clint, man, I tell you what, he was more that Dan Marino type. If your receiver is supposed to be at 6 and you're at 5 3/4, it's going to be a wrap.
Dalzell told us today, I actually wish things would bother Radabah a little bit more than they actually do. There's the quarterback with his head coach, Dennis Avrilla and Steve Tunn. 7th season as the Cleveland head coach. 57-57, 1-2 start so far this year for his team. They are number 1 in total defense, giving up just 201 yards per game, which in this league is a very nice number. And there's a look at the matchup. Fairly even. Last meeting, Philadelphia beat Cleveland 69-41 in week 1 of this 2016 season. So the Gladiators will try to return the favor here today in Philly. Philadelphia won the opening toss and they will defer.
Key for Cleveland is turnovers. You can't give the ball away and give extra possessions to this Philadelphia offense. You've got to stay away from the turnovers.
Clark sends it away, the left footer. Off the net, Larry Beavers out of his own end zone, crosses the 5, takes a heavy hit, keeps on moving, and falls forward out to the 15. 21-yard return, and a nice one by Beavers to begin.
5'11 versus 180, 5'11, 180 versus 5'11, 175. And I'm going to get a little bit lower. He just runs right through Chris DeVault.
Dennis Avrilla, 3rd year from Western New Mexico. Threw 5 touchdowns last week. For the season, he's thrown for 455 yards, 10 touchdowns and 3 picks. First play from scrimmage from the 15. Quick hitter over the middle, caught at the 20. Colin Taylor, we talked about it in the open. He's been fantastic. His 22nd catch of the season right there, picks up 5 yards as we take a look at the starting offense for Cleveland.
Yeah, that offensive line is going to be huge. You already know about Colin Taylor's ability. He's also flanked by Larry Beavers, who brings speed to this offense. Something they knew. Teron Lewis, who's also a guy that can run. Offensive line is going to be huge today, given time against Jennings down on the front line.
2nd down 5 from the 20. Beavers in motion. Taylor out there as well. Avrilla gonna step it, run, crosses midfield. Avrilla inside the 10. His helmet pops off, but he takes it down to the 9-yard line. A big run by Dennis Avrilla. And a hit at the end of the play that jarred his helmet loose.
He gets up wolfing, and I'm not so sure if he really knows Chris Deeker's on IR. You don't want to soon follow. Understand, it's the first part of a game. Don't put yourself in that situation.
The starting Jack linebacker is Arvell Nelson, and he's the backup quarterback right now for the Gladiators. 1st and goal from the 9, opening possession for 1-2 Cleveland against 2-1 Philadelphia. Over the middle end zone, penalty marker down, as that pass intended for Beavers and James Romaine in coverage.
You're going to catch James getting his left hand on the hip of Beavers on the quick post route. It's a basic sail-in route. It's man-to-man coverage. Man-to-man coverage. Hooks on the left hip, coming around. I'll tell you, he's going to be close on a lot of plays. Talking about James Romaine, but he's got to make sure he keeps his body away and just uses athleticism. He's quick enough, he's fast enough, keep himself in good position.
Get Gooseby at the chat. Belton, Hollis, Stevenson, Romaine in the secondary. Only 1 touchdown in the opening quarter this year for Cleveland. From the 4, Dennis Avrilla, guns end zone.
He grabbed him again. They're going to get James Romaine again.
Back-to-back pass interference penalties on Romaine.
This time he gets a receiver with as much foot speed or as much quickness as he has. And sometimes those guys tend to panic, but you see the outside release.
So back-to-back markers.
Gladiators now on the 2-yard line. 1st and goal
Makes it first and goal from the 2. Havrilla tucks it left side. Going for the goal line, and he got there. Using his entire body to get over that line at Havrilla with a rushing touchdown, and it's 6-0 Gladiators.
Got a quarterback that can run the ball. It's good. You see him step back and fake. You see D.N. Jake Metz unblocked from the backside. Nearly gets there, but you don't count on that. You go front side and lead through. Wes Mawia blew that hole up, but he's able to power his way in.
Nelson puts it down. Adrian Trevino knocks it through. And a good start for the road team. Cleveland got blasted in week 1 by the Philadelphia Soul. And with some vengeance today to begin opening drive, Havrilla had a 21-yard run earlier and then a 2-yard touchdown run here. An early statement by Havrilla and the Gladiators, and they lead 7-0. 2-yard touchdown to cap it off. 3 plays, 35 yards and 249. And Cleveland with a nice start to this game on the road, trying to get to 2-2 here in week number 4.
3 plays, 25 yards, most of that on the ground.
A couple of penalties on Romaine once they got it inside the 10-yard line, and now Trevino sends it away. DeVault back deep against the back wall. DeVault across the 15-yard line. Spun down across the 20. 2 good returns, one for either side, open this game. 28 yards that time for DeVault. And Dan Radabaugh, last year's MVP of the Arena Football League, leads the league this year in touchdown throws with 18.
Tell you what, he had a nice bounce back a week ago. Very efficient. 8 touchdowns, 0 picks, but coming off the early first 2 weeks, just 10-5. He's still rounding into form with these new set of receivers that he has out here.
Completing 66%. Catch and run inside the 15. Dragging tacklers. Darius Reynolds, 5th-year man from Iowa State, gained 16.
And this is something Coach Dozell talked to us about, the hot route early. See all the space that the Gladiators are giving the motion man in the middle. You just stand up and pop the ball to him quick. And Darius Reynolds out of Iowa State, this kid is physical with the ball after the catch. You see right there, he has a different dynamic with the ball in his hands.
So Philadelphia, for the first time, finds themselves inside the Geico blue zone. Radabaugh, the Red Rocket, goes end zone with touch. Not quite enough touch as he was looking for Reynolds again. Marker down at the 1. So an illegal formation penalty on Cleveland will mark the ball down inside the red zone at their 9.
We get shading on the nose. You got to be head up. You can't have a side or an angle. Clint wanted Darius to continue running through that ball. It kind of gets slowed up.
Offensive starters, Richardson, talked about him in the open. Already 87 rushing yards. Big number in this league for the first 3 weeks. Radabaugh guns it to the goal line, and it pops loose and down the tunnel. That'll bring up 2nd down and goal. Gunning that one for the 4th-year man from Samford, Ryan McDaniel, and Brandon Stevens in coverage.
Brandon Stevens locked up, and I think Ryan could have taken that route.
Another defensive penalty at half the distance down to the 4.
Look at that front 3 up front. Collins, Meshach Williams, and Keshen. These guys are getting better and better, and their secondary's got some good size. Brandon Stevens, Marvin Ross, as well as DeMarcus Robinson, who's got a good history in this league, a good understanding for what's happening. This defense is in the top 6, top 5 in every category, doing a nice job, getting better each week.
And trying to get Joe Powell healthy. He's a guy with already 4 interceptions.
3 for touchdowns.
DeVault at the end of the play clock never got it off on 1st and goal just inside the 5.
offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Boy, that's got to be frustrating for Clint Dalzell. So pack him up, Philadelphia here. Both teams a little bit sloppy with the penalties early on in this game.
Yeah, not the way you want to get in the red zone and have a couple bad plays. You get a couple penalties on Cleveland, then you help them out with a penalty. Got to tighten it up. Execute if you're Philly. The size, I think, in the secondary right now is going to come into play because Cleveland has some big physical type corners and safeties. They'll get after you.
Reynolds, the motion man for Philly from the 9. Rodaball looks right, fires, and misfires. Again intended for Ryan McDaniel.
A lot of pressure up and inside. Curtis Young coming up head on with Jeremy Richardson. Dan doing a nice job of sliding back, but nobody's open. Everybody's attached. Can't say enough of the job early on that this secondary is doing. You got to give these guys credit.
How about 17 touchdowns in 19 red zone trips this season for Dalzell's guys? And now they face a second down and goal. Down 7-0 on their opening possession. Rodabah sends Sean Kalenomoku in motion. Looks for him in the corner route. Touchdown, Kalenomoku. In the back corner up against the boards to haul that one in. A 9-yard strike.
You want to play man-to-man and be physical up front? You're going to get the timing route right over the top. This is just easy punch out. Put it up there on time. No chance for Brandon Stevens. That's a great throw and catch on time and in the right spot. If you're going to play that way, you've got to get some hands on him. Can't allow him to run away from you.
Philadelphia signed kicker Pat Clark, a left footer this week. First opportunity on a PAT right down the middle. With McDaniel holding, ties the game set at 7.
Going to play us tough. We're just going to run our stuff in timing in the corner. SK for 6.
For the latest news, scores, and stats, log on to arenafootball.com. Whether you want to check out special features on the league's brightest stars or watch live games, arenafootball.com is where it's at. Here in Philadelphia, Wells Fargo Center, the 2-1 Soul, the 1-2 Gladiators. And tied up at 7. Each team with an opening touchdown drive, and Pat Clark, the left-footed kicker, will send it away for Philadelphia. Larry Beavers back deep, takes it off the net. Beavers with speed, breaks one tackle, and finally taken down around the 18-yard line. A return, a 24 for Beavers as we check in down below with Tina.
All right, Brent, thank you. It's Sean Kalenomoku. Did I say it right?
Right.
All right, I got it perfect. Now, Sean, first drive of the game, what was the play call on the touchdown?
We had double slant and cell on, and I think they went man, but they busted it, so we just got to win in man and come down and catch the ball.
This is one of the best defenses in arena football. What is the game plan against that?
You know what I mean? Take care of the football, catch everything, and get open.
All right, SK, thank you.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Brent?
Tina, good point. They are #1 in total defense coming in, Cleveland. And this pass is gunned too deep, looking for Beavers streaking down the near boards.
Can't miss that one. You don't get those type of opportunities very often. The catch. Beavers matched up with Belton, who was expecting a shallower route. They ran Beavers on a dead set go route, which means he wasn't in motion, but was still going deep using his foot speed. You gotta hit that.
Philly starting D across the bottom of your screen. Belton, Romaine, Stevenson in the secondary. On second down and 10 from the 18. Dennis Havrilla dumps it off. And wide open space inside the 15, inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line. Philip Keith Manley.
This is well set up. It's something that Philadelphia will do to you, but Cleveland gives a little bit of their own medicine. 5-step drop, great setup. Manley Keith showing his nimbleness as well. We talked about Jeremy Richardson in the open, but he's showing that he's a big boy that's got some moves as well.
His second catch of the year. First one went for 16. This one goes for 27. And just outside the 5-yard line, first and goal. Taylor in motion. Havrilla floats it up. And Taylor got turned around in the end zone.
He's got to find that ball. You know it's coming quick, especially if you're getting the smack or the catch at the goal line. Got to get your head up. He looks a little late. Got to find that ball. You know it's coming quick at that point when you get that smack defense waiting for you at the line of scrimmage.
Tied at 7-5 to play opening quarter. The Arena Football League, Week 4, here on CBS Sports Network. This time the motion man, Theron Lewis. Havrilla steps up, guns it, incomplete. Just out of the grasp of Lewis.
Looked like he had a little space to run. I know Joe Goosby's sitting there in the middle. You don't want to go head up with Joe. You got space in there with your legs, with his leg speed and his ability to run the ball. Take it. You want to put points up on the board. You don't want to get down here and stall out in the red zone.
32% on third down this year. And that's near the bottom of the AFL. Third and goal from the 6. Taylor in motion. Havrilla still backing up. Rolling left. Havrilla going to tuck it. Havrilla trying to get there.
It's going to be a little short. That's a great effort.
Just shy of the goal line. Inside the 1 for Dennis Havrilla on his third rush of this opening quarter.
Watch the dip inside and then reverse. That's a great classic spin out move. He gets away from Teddy Jennings and then almost sneaks it in. That's great hustle by Metz and the rest of that defense to get there to keep them from scoring, allow themselves a chance to play defense.
So fourth down and goal from inside the 1. 4 of 10 on fourth this year for Cleveland. Philip Keith Manley lines up behind Havrilla.
Jumbo set here, an extra big man in.
Havrilla keeps penalty marker down. He got in for the touchdown if it stands. And if it does, it would be his second rushing touchdown in 2 drives.
Building a formation of defense, second neutral zone violation. That penalty is declined. The result of plays touchdown.
So the touchdown stands. Havrilla in for the second time from 1 yard out, and now markers all over the place as it's 13-6 Cleveland.
Jennings is kind of going bonkers. He was called for being out of his stance.
That foul will be administered. First play after the kickoff.
So that's Teddy Jennings and unsportsmanlike.
You've got to maintain your composure. You can't compound the play. You don't have to be across the ball, but if you're out of your stance as a defensive player, as a down lineman, you're out of your stance, that's a penalty.
And now another marker down.
Sideline warning, Philadelphia.
So Philly now a sideline warning after Jennings gets the unsportsmanlike. After they had been lined up illegally on defense. After all that, we've still got a Gladiator touchdown, and then Trevino trying to make it 14-7. And he does. Havrilla, the starting quarterback, 4 carries already. 28 yards, 2 touchdowns, including this one.
This is a nice little drop in, good power move, slides inside. Nice job by Dennis Havrilla.
The PBR Built for Tough series is heating up. Will 18-year-old high school phenom Jess Lockwood outride the 2-time reigning world champion J.B. Mooney at the rest of PBR's top 35? Don't miss the Des Moines Invitational tomorrow at 8 Eastern on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Dennis Havrilla has carried it 4 times. He's already got 2 scores. Cleveland has 2 touchdowns in the opening quarter for the first time this season, and they lead Philadelphia on the road 14-7 early on in this one. And again, they got drilled by Philly in week 1, 69-41.
Right now, they've found a way to slow down the pass rush. They've used deceptives. They've run. The quarterback has run, used his legs.
Trevino sends it away to Falk from Illinois. Back deep, bobbles, back of the end zone. And that'll do it. Touchback out to the 5. When we come back, Philly back on offense. We've had 3 possessions and 3 touchdowns as Radaba comes back on the field. Here in Philadelphia. On second down, Radaba from the 4 flips it out. Darius Reynolds. Gang tackled after the catch and run out to the 13. And a first down catch by Darius Reynolds.
Again, the hot route. They're trying to get that middle safety to kind of creep up a little bit. That way you're going to get a good look at your motion man on the opposite side and give him a chance to work over the top. You slow the defensive pass rush down a bit, give yourself a chance for an extra tick in the pocket if you're Dan Radaba.
Second possession of the game for Philly. Both teams are on point offensively early in this game. Radaba launches for it all. McDaniel. And too much on that bomb.
That's a miss by Radaba. He's got to flatten him out there. The safety's still extremely high and in good position to stay there. Bring him down by the wall, let him make the catch. You know, sometimes as quarterbacks, we try to throw that perfect pass instead of just getting the ball to our guy and complete the pass.
He and McDaniel have not really found their rhythm together so far. McDaniel came into the game with 19 catches for 266 and 4 touchdowns. Radaba down the middle looking for Reynolds, and he got held up. Penalty markers all over the place.
I don't know what Dan's looking at on that one. He's got an inside release from his motion man.
Offense, defense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
He's got an inside release from his motion man and tries to throw it up the seam as if to tell Darius, I want you to go outside on the release. Right there, there's contact, it's man-to-man, and he throws it outside. Well, if you're going to take a shot at him, give him a chance, put it in front of his eyeball so we can go make a play for you, even through the contact.
Penalty on Stevens, final 3 seconds, 2-1. And that'll be it for the first quarter here in Philadelphia. Cleveland has had it twice. They've scored on both possessions. Philly scored on their opening drive, now trying to do the same on their second. End of 1 from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, 14-7 Cleveland. You're watching the Arena Football League on CBS Sports Network. Well, if you want access to every AFL game at once, go to arenafootball.com. Click on AFL Live for the online broadcast of games around the league. 2 more to come tonight on AFL Live. After this one here on CBS Sports Network. Last 2 seasons now through 3 games. Radaba, again, he was an MVP last year. And this year, the numbers are better in terms of percentage. He's just off the mark in passing yards and touchdowns and a few more interceptions.
Which keeps the numbers from being better. You don't want to give the ball away, man.
Can't do it in this league.
Killers. Interceptions are killers.
As we start the second, Reynolds in motion. From the 23, handoff Richardson's first carry of the game. And he spins forward for a gain of 1. Colin Keoshian was in there.
Keoshian hung on for dear life. I don't even know how he split the blockers and got a hand on Richardson, but didn't let him get started.
I like Keoshian. 2 games in the lineup, and he's got 3.5 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 TFLs, and 3 quarterback hits coming into today.
It's the energy all energies. 260 pounds, strong.
Radabah comes it, caught down near the 11-yard line as Darius Reynolds, who's been active in this first half. A gain of 15 on that one.
Most underused route in the book. Just a stop route, stop at 15. It just pushes defender off and timing, ball's out. Really can't do much about that.
3 catches, 40 yards for Reynolds. The hit by Marvin Ross. After the catch that time, they mark it at the 11 of Cleveland. Philly trying to drive in and tie the score. Kalena Moku, the motion man. Radabah, end zone corner for him. He bangs into the wall, but can't come in with the football. And a marker down right at the line of scrimmage.
Offside, 42, defense, line up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. We play first down.
Third-year man from Kansas State, Meshach Williams.
Shaq lines up in the neutral zone. This is a risky throw with a 6'2" corner playing on the field side, who's kind of in between that throw. I mean, so that ball had to be in a perfect spot and looked pretty good. Looked like SK got his hands on the ball, but wasn't able to bring it down with the contact from the wall.
And going full speed into the wall, which, as you always say, is undefeated to this day. Barely got the play off. Richardson bangs his way forward. And Jeremy Richardson gets down to the 3.5-yard line.
That's a really nice pickup. See Nelson, who is the backup quarterback and a tremendously talented guy. This guy is a freak athlete, 6'5", 230 pounds.
In warm-ups, he kind of reminds me of Cam Newton a little bit. I mean, he's got the look.
He's a good-looking athlete.
Flipped it out, Kalena Moku, and runs into the wall again, right around the marker.
That's just a poor throw, poor execution. You don't see this from Dan too often. Trying to get a quick screen, but the throw led SK right to the wall. He had no other option if he was going to catch that ball, but run right into the wall. Throw low and in front. Wasn't able to get it.
No gain, though, so third down for Philadelphia. Their first third down opportunity of the day as you look at the numbers for Sean Kalena Moku. Number 1 on the team in touchdowns. Reynolds in motion. Reynolds takes the handoff. Can't spin out of the tackle.
Randy Colling.
Colling got him. Marker down at the end of the play.
It's getting a little chippy in this.
Personal foul, 22, defense. It's a face mask foul, half the distance, first down.
And that's the motor guy we were talking about earlier on the drive, Kioshian.
See him right there, pull off the face mask. But you got to just be smart. The runner's down.
I mean, it's a complete bailout. It would have been a fourth down. Instead, it's first and goal from just inside the 2 for Philadelphia. Reynolds in motion. Radabah, toss left, open space, banging in for the touchdown. Philadelphia. Jeremy Richardson with a marker down in the backfield.
Offside, 42, defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
We get Shaq Williams again.
For Cleveland has disqualified himself for this half.
And there's a penalty, his second offside penalty, so Shaq Williams will have to sit out the rest of the half. But look at the collision here between Curtis Young and Jeremy Richardson. I mean, that was a collision. And if you're not 270 pounds and maybe 273 or 4 pounds, you're not getting on that one.
2-yard touchdown run. Now Pat Clark, PAT. Missed wide left, so it remains a 14-13 game. And Meshach Williams is now done for the rest of the first half. Here's the touchdown run. Williams is out, so is Robert Rose. They got issues up front on defense for Cleveland. We'll talk about it next. Meshach Williams for Cleveland, already 2 offsides penalties. He is disqualified from playing defense for the rest of this half, but he can play special teams just because of a sheer numbers situation. But Robert Rose is out with an injury. He's one of their guys up front on D. Meshach can't play the rest of the half, so it'll be Colling, Kiyoshi, and now Abe Karoma will have to come off the bench to play up front.
It's a good rule. It's a rule to kind of keep the game moving. You had a ton of guys jumping off sides prior to that rule. A ton of offsides penalty. It's kind of scaled it back. And here we are. You know it's in play. Just keep your eyes on the football.
Short kickoff. Beavers out across the 15. And spins ahead near midfield to the 23. And Larry Beavers has been electrifying on returns in this first half. 28 yards there. A marker down, though, at the other end of the field.
Kicking team 1, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So that's Chris Duvall, 5th-year man from Illinois. And that says all you need to know from the Philly head coach. Good return by Beavers. His team leads by 1.
Tina Servasio back with you at Wells Fargo Center. The Cleveland Gladiators leading the Philadelphia Soul 14-13. Gladiators head coach Steve Kahn had quite the health scare 2 weeks ago. 1 hour before kickoff between the Gladiators and Tampa Bay Storm, Coach Kahn was rushed to the hospital with an irregular heartbeat. He told me all of a sudden he felt like his heart was coming out of his chest. He turned to his trainer, EMTs were on hand, and they immediately went to work. They found that his heart rate was going up to 180 beats a minute, so they immediately rushed him to the hospital. He had an AFib, or an atrial fibrillation. He had medication and actually called 2 plays from the hospital. When he called in, he was on the cell phone with quarterback Chris Deeker, who had the play sheet. And he said, "Coach, I'm running out of plays. What do you got?" He gave him 2 plays, and the Gladiators won the game. He is feeling much better. He's taking some health precautions, though, moving forward. Brent?
Very nice, Tina. Thanks. Very good news indeed.
Absolutely. Always tough when you hear about your brother. And I mean, he's been around this game for a long time. Ever since I could remember, he's been around this game. Great guy, great coach. Great play call there. Good job by Havrilla to come down to his 3rd option on the play. The backside in route. Teron Lewis drops the football.
On 2nd down, Havrilla goes end zone. Nobody there. Off the back wall.
Back wall is good.
Side walls are good. Net is good. Back wall, no.
Doesn't get an opportunity on that one. He ran it over with a post behind it. He came off it a little too soon. Colin Taylor was open. But still, he's doing a nice job. He's still getting used to this offense and the flow of the offense. And what happens? It's one thing to be in practice running these perfect plays, but you get out and the bullets start flying. Everything has to just sync up.
3rd down and 10. Cleveland 0 for 1 on 3rd. No Dominic Goodman, who's got 22 catches. He's not available. So Quentin Sims getting a lot of time. This pass caught by Lewis around the 5. He's finally wrestled down by Larico Stevenson, but a marker down back at the 21. Way too many penalties in this first half, both sides.
Holding, 93 defense. That penalties decline. Result of play, first down.
So decline that one. Richard Klebert, they signed him on Wednesday.
And what you're trying to do is when you're holding from that nose spot, you're trying to clear some space for your linebacker. So you'll hold him and not allow the center to get off to his gap to block. Oftentimes not very much seen by the officials.
10 penalties combined so far. Sims in motion, handoff right side. Manley to the end zone for the touchdown. Philip Keith Manley takes it in.
The amount of penalties and the long drives by the Cleveland Gladiators has negated Philadelphia's ability to get out to a fast start and run plays and get some cohesion. This is just a really good job of down blocking, getting everything out. And Manley Keith just powers his way in the end zone. Great start for the Gladiators.
Trevino knocks it through. They are clicking here today. Manley with some swagger, taking it in to make it 21-13. Second quarter in Philadelphia. Three possessions, 3 touchdowns for Cleveland. 8:14 in the second. They lead the Soul 21-13. And Trevino 3 for 3 on extra points. The Cleveland kicker will tee it up from the Geico goal line. Havrilla in this offense clicking nicely again without Dominic Goodman.
Keep in mind, Trevino has great ability to hit some onside kicks. Philadelphia will be on high alert. Doesn't seem like it's the right time, but you never know when you're trying to steal a possession.
He'll send this one deep end over end. Back wall, Duval leaps to make the catch. Duval reverses field and gets ankle tackled at the 7. The tackle made by Quentin Sims. Back down to Tina.
And I'm with Gladiators quarterback Dennis Havrilla, and you have this offense clicking, and you're without Goodman. You're dealing with injuries. How do you have it, guys, going today?
Well, we've got some guys, whoever's out, we got to next man up, is how we take the approach. But, we're just taking what they give us out there, and then we're going from there.
2 rushing touchdowns by you. What is it about your skill that you're able to run the ball in a league that likes to air it out?
You know what? If things break down, then sometimes I got to use my leg, but I'm definitely a pass-first quarterback. So, for me, it's pass first and run only if I have to.
Dennis, you were thrown into this a couple of weeks ago. How have you adapted?
You know what? I've got a great team around me, Tina. And with that being said, I'm just trying to do my part, and that's all I can do at this point. Just put the ball in the playmaker's hands. And I got to tell you, my offensive lineman is just top-notch right now.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Tina.
Back to you, Brent.
All right, Tina, thanks. Rodabaugh missing a receiver there.
And I talked about Cleveland's ability to slow the game down. There's been so many penalties. How many offensive plays has Philadelphia run? Not many.
No.
So you've not allowed Dan Rodabaugh to get in sync, get in rhythm. He misses a wide open gimme on that one. He's got to find his way here.
Only 13 so far. Wide open space for Reynolds, though, this time. And he crosses midfield into Cleveland territory with a marker down.
So pretty close to midfield and not into Gladiator territory, but let's see.
Fullback on the offense lined up in the second neutral zone. Half the distance to the goal, replay second down.
Ugly penalties. Richardson guilty that time, negating a big gain by Reynolds.
There's no separation, no space between he and the right guard, Neil Tivis. There's got to be some separation there, or it's a penalty. That's a good call. However, if I'm the quarterback, I'm telling them to get up in there too. The faster you get to those guys, the faster I can throw the ball.
Rodabaugh 6 of 10, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. Sends Reynolds in motion. Rodabaugh from the goal line, fires behind the receiver, intercepted. Marvin Ross back inside the 10. Ross inside the 5. Touchdown, Marvin Ross. A pick 6 for Cleveland.
It's the 3rd pick 6 for Cleveland against his Philadelphia Soul team this season. 2 in week 1. Now Marvin Ross on a throw that's behind. And how does it start? It's all about momentum. Watch the pump fake to the front side. He steps back to throw the dig. He's late. Ball ricochets up in the air, and at that point, this secondary from the Gladiators has tremendous ball skills, and they're able to take it to the house. And the ball's late and behind. That's a gimme.
35 yards on the return for the touchdown. And now Trevino is money, and it's 28-13.
Penalties leading to these kind of things. You put yourself in bad situations and you do not come away with points and give them away.
Week 1 in Cleveland, the Soul and the Gladiators. Soul jumped out to a big lead. Gladiators tried to rally, but the Soul scored on 2 straight interception returns for scores in the second. First interception by Joe Gooseby and the second by Dwayne Hollis to give the Soul a 42-7 lead midway in the second. And Joe Powell for Cleveland trying to get the Gladiators back into the game, return that pick for a touchdown, but Dan Rodabaugh to Sean Kalanamoku, his 7th touchdown to give the Soul a 28-point win. It was the 5th straight win for the Soul over the Gladiators, which is hard to believe because it was just a couple of years ago that Cleveland had those miracle wins. It seemed like every time they played against Philadelphia.
It was every time. I mean, last-second wins happen once every other season, not 2-3 times in a season. And listen, Dan wasn't exactly super sharp in that first game. The defense came up huge. Right now, the missing factor for the Soul is the defense. When Teddy Jennings and Jake Metz get it going, it's tough for teams to compete with it.
Duvall trying to push one loose. We've seen good returns when Duvall on this side. Beavers for Cleveland in this first half, and with 5.5 to go before halftime. It's 28-13 after a 27-yard return. Rodabaugh just threw his 6th interception of the year. 35-yard pick 6, 18th all-time beating here. 10-7, Philly leads it, and again, the Soul have won the last 5, including the season opener a couple of weeks ago.
It's always a little edgier. It's one of those rivalry games, always a little edgier, thus all the penalties. Everyone's keyed up, fired up.
Rodabaugh rifles it far side. And Darius Reynolds takes it down to the 17-yard line, and he has been the hot read, the main read in this first half for Rodabaugh.
You're giving up a lot of space coming out. And that's a clear zone coverage. You see SK clears the zone. You drop it off underneath. It's okay as a defense to play a little soft, but come up and make tackles. It's better than giving up a big one.
Reynolds in motion, takes it again. Upended inside the 10, takes a hit from Ross, but falling forward down to the 9.
Another step, you want to pull that defense a little bit closer. As you approach the Geico blue zone, you pull that defense a little bit closer. And next, maybe you see a pump there and go up top or over the top with a post route.
Reynolds 5 receptions, 60 yards. And again, he's in motion out there with SK as well as McDaniel. This time McDaniel turns, makes the catch, and falls forward down to the 6. And a first down pickup for Ryan McDaniel.
Got to find ways to get Ryan Mack involved. He's got to get the ball in his hands. And I know you're taking what they're giving you, but you got to find ways to get the ball to number 19, let him make some plays for you there. It's just a screen, short yardage. Throw it quick, allow him to pick up the yards. Good job of blocking in front.
'77 yards, Cleveland, 81 for Philly. From the 6, first and goal, Rodabaugh wide open, touchdown, McDaniel.
Right on cue with blown coverage. Anytime you get that stacked formation out there and you bring motion around to it, you got to allow your guys space, and as a secondary, you've got to communicate to the ends of the earth. You can't talk enough in this situation. Right here, who you got? And Ryan McDaniel splits. Ross drives up when he's the deepest. He should stay back. That's an easy score.
McDaniel's 5th touchdown catch of the year. And now Clark for the PAT. This one off the iron and no good. He's missed 2 in a row. They just picked up Clark to kick this week. Been a bit of a struggle in this first half, so it's 28-19 after the McDaniel touchdown with 2:31 to go in the half.
If that first one was, you could throw on him. It was blocked up front. You've got to protect. But that one right there, he gave it the old hook swing. As a lefty, I know what that looks like, that little hook.
Which reminds me, we'll be in Arizona for a game next weekend, so I know you're going to get some golf in, 1, maybe 2 rounds. Coming up on the Arena Football halftime show from the Wells Fargo Center here in Philly. Sets top 5 wide receiving cores. Interesting. Get ready to hit him on Twitter on that, if you, especially if you disagree. Also have first half stats and highlights all coming up at halftime.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Your top 5. I wonder if I'm going to agree. Not that you really care whether or not I agree, but I don't know.
I care. I care what people. I'm a compassionate person.
I'm interested if this Philly receiving core is going to be number 1. I'll just tease it like that. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. You haven't released it yet. But I'm just wondering if Philly is going to be in that top spot after 3 weeks. So McDaniels, 6 yards from Rodabaugh, 4-play, 31-yard touchdown drive. Now the onside kick. It's still loose out near the 15. And Cleveland is able to fall on it. So the element of surprise there, but Arvell Nelson able to cover it up.
This was a great kick. It goes right off of Joe Finney's face mask early on. What a great kick. It's a pop-up middle, which you don't see very often. Those usually go to the side, and look at that, timing great. And actually, it's DeMarcus Robinson. D-Rob goes up and can't bring it in. Arvell, Johnny on the spot, is able to cover it up.
So Havrilla then starts from the Philly 15 with Beavers in motion. Havrilla fires near side, Taylor the catch, but didn't gain anything.
Woo. You got to be careful making that throw. Tracy Belton has had a nose for the football, and he looks left. He wants the post route, but Teron Lewis can't get on top of the toes of James Romaine and turn him. So he comes back all the way to the wall late. That is dangerous.
He's got pick 6
all
written
over.
all over.
I've made that mistake a few times. One to Coach Kevin Guy for the Arizona Rattlers that he never lets me live down.
It's got to be a bad feeling.
Oh, terrible.
Havrilla from the 15, second 10. End zone with touch, looking for Taylor. Flipped him halfway over the wall, but the pass too far out in front.
That ball got away. You can tell by the way it came out of his hand. Ball gets away from him. He sees the read. He's got a wide open receiver. James Romaine is 5 yards deep, 6 yards deep in the end zone. Colin Taylor, big strong receivers, flattened out. You got to stick that ball on his gut.
So that leads us to the 1 minute warning. And a third down upcoming with Cleveland leading 28-19. Philadelphia failed on an onside kick. Cleveland got good field position at the Philly 15. But nothing to show for it so far. Third down. And 10 yards to go. All 6 offensive touchdowns today have been from inside the 10. Havrilla on third, end zone corner, Beavers incomplete. Good coverage that time by James Romaine.
Way too much talking going on. You know what I mean? Don't draw a flag down there. Just wolfing, selling tickets. Play ball. This ball gets on. This is good timing. He throws it early, but he floats it. Beavers got to reach those hands. And young receivers, that's why you reach your hands out for the football. You don't leave them inside your body. You reach out, get as long as possible, and go get that football.
Cleveland 1 for 1 on fourth down today. Play clock down under 5. 4th and 10 from the 15. Havrilla just got it off. Time shuffles back in his own territory. Marker down. Havrilla gonna run. And he's tackled shy of the first down marker at the 7-yard line. And a marker back at the 22.
So hold on the O-line. That's a great hustle play by Jake Metz.
74, offense. 10-yard penalty, replay, 4th down.
You want to talk about somebody playing with a motor? Watch number 8 on this play, people. This is a big man, 6'6", 270. First of all, he runs through. There's a hold inside.
That penalty's declined. Ball goes over on downs.
But watch 8 come out of nowhere and just drag him down. He's just dogged after Havrilla. I mean, that's a big man running a long way. Started on the left defensive end. Went all the way around the field to get him. Hustle plays, man, to make a difference.
The coach says his motor never stops, Jake Metz, and he's also so good on special teams, which probably gets overlooked more than it should. Coach says you better have your head on a swivel when he's out there on special teams as well. SK the catch and into Cleveland territory as he gives himself up on the near board, stopping the clock at 39.6 and a pickup of 19.
Plenty of time, 3 timeouts left. They're going to try to put this ball in the end zone with no time left and keep it out of Cleveland's hands.
From the 23 of the Gladiators, Radabaugh sends Reynolds in motion. Radabaugh with a strike far side. Kalena-Moku the catch, the first down. And again, he's able to stop the clock at the 10-yard line.
Philly can put points up here. Philly can post a score here, then they receive the kickoff for the second half. 14-point turnaround just like that in a game where Cleveland had looked to be in total control because of a few mistakes from the Soul.
Each team with 3 timeouts left. First and goal from the 10 with 35.4 on the clock. Flipped out to McDaniel. McDaniel slicing his way inside the 5, down near the 1, and a gain of 9.
They're going to let it run down. They're going to let it run down, and then they'll call timeout.
This is near flawless execution, isn't it?
Timeout, Cleveland. They're first, 30 seconds.
And now Cleveland is going to call it at 17.7.
Well, you don't want them to kind of run the half out on you. If you've got timeouts in your zone, this is just a quick shuffle screen right outside, right on target. Good job by Ryan McDaniel to run with power, and really good job of blocking up front.
So Cleveland burns its first timeout. Still 2 remaining. Philly's got all 3. Second down goal from the 1 was 17.7.
And I'm not sure they want to. They're worried about making Cleveland burn timeouts, but they're going to want to possibly run one more play before they try to get it in.
Don't want to leave Cleveland any time. As you see Radabaugh's first half numbers, again shovels it out.
Got a
and
clip.
Falling forward again after the clip is Richardson. Didn't gain much. And it doesn't matter anyway.
Clipping, 21, offense, 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
And that's Kalena-Moku. We replay second.
And this, you just got to be smarter than this. Honestly, you know you can't get him blocked. Let him go. Because now you put yourself in a position, watch out to the wide side. I mean, that's dangerous. That's how you hurt somebody, ruin a career. And it's not trying to hurt the guy, obviously, but you got to know better. Now you've backed yourself up to the 11-yard line.
Now the officials blow it dead. Philly 7 penalties, 38 yards.
Timeout, Philadelphia. They're first, 30 seconds.
Now Dalzell uses his first timeout. You know, it's funny how quickly the complexion changes. You get 17.7, and it's like, we're at the 1. We want to keep it away from Cleveland. Now you're down to 9.2, and you're back at the 11-yard line.
Mental errors have hurt him. A mental error hurt him because 2 plays later, Radabaugh threw a pick 6. Mental error hurts him here. You get down to the 1-yard line, you get a clip when you know you can't block the guy. You know it's illegal. Do not do it. Let him go. He's not going to blow your fullback up. Richardson had eyes on him. Let him go.
We've seen undisciplined play really on both sides in this first half. It's 28-19. Second down goal, 9.2 seconds for Radabaugh. Dan floats it up, corner of the end zone, marker down, what a catch! Flipping over the wall, did he hold it? You bet. Touchdown, Darius Reynolds, if it stands.
Illegal defense, 2. Jack linebacker out of the box. That penalty's declined. Result of play, touchdown.
Penalty on Nelson doesn't matter. Touchdown Reynolds on a beautiful throw and catch.
This is a tough throw and catch. You see Arvell Nelson too deep, but watch the elevation. Brandon Stevens not able to strip, but it's just Dan giving his guy a shot to go up and make a play. And listen, you got to really want that. to go down and hit the cement on the opposite side of the wall. There's no pads over there. That's just a great effort by Darius Reynolds.
Clark able to knock this PAT through to make it 28-26 with 4 seconds left. And Reynolds 6 receptions, 71 yards in his first touchdown of the night. And for Reynolds, his 7th score of the season.
Nice execution on this drive. Starts with a little curl route. SK gives himself up. And again, out to the wall, in space, against the zone. Shovel pass screen. Armack takes it down inside the 1. Then you get backed up after a long penalty. They don't sulk. They go out and make play on the next play. Darius Reynolds with a big-time catch. Puts Philly on the board.
4 plays, 42 yards in 41 seconds. And we're even up with the exception of the 2 missed extra points. So 28-26. In a spirited first half here in Philadelphia. Beavers from the back wall. And he gets drilled. Tattooed inside the 5. And that will run out the first half clock. And that is a textbook way to end it with a marker down here late. Gooseby. And a couple of guys, and you said this early on, the extracurricular is over the top in this first half. We just saw it again.
At the end of the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, 18 of Cleveland. That foul will be assessed on the first play after the second half kickoff.
That's Quentin Sims has been mixing it up all afternoon on special teams. He's got to do a better job of getting his emotions in check. Be a positive for your team. You're getting a chance to, an opportunity to be out there playing. Be a positive for your team, not a negative. I know intensity is one thing, but be a positive for you guys.
So 28-26, Havrilla 4 of 11, 45 yards through the air. He ran 5 times for 35 yards and a pair of touchdowns. And Radabaugh on the other side with a good first half, 13 of 18, 123 and 3 touchdowns. The only difference in the game, the 2 missed PATs by Pat Clark just signed this week by Philly, so they trail by 2 at halftime, and Steve Tunn is with Tina down on the field.
All right, Brent, thank you. Coach, what were you upset about just now?
Well, they said we took our helmet off at the end of the game, but if the half's over, you can take your helmet off. The play's still not going. There's still no time. There's no time left. So the guy just took his helmet off to walk off the field. So I don't think it should be a penalty. So
you do have a 2-point lead, and your offense is clicking. What do you see on the offensive side?
You know, we just came out. We tried to do a lot of short passes. We tried to control the ball and not turn it over. Some big screens went for us. Some big runs went for us. So
we made it.
You know, that worked. You know, that last series really hurt us. We had a couple chances to score there, and we didn't make the catch. So we just can't pass up any opportunity.
Coach, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Brent, back to you.
Good job by Tina to stay out of the way of the halftime festivities on their way out to the field. End the first half here in Philly, week 4 of the AFL. 28-26. Havrilla was really good on the ground. 3 of their 4 touchdowns, Cleveland's, were on the ground, 1 on a pick 6. 28-26 at the end of the first half. You're watching the AFL on CBS Sports Network.